Thomas Bachelder from Bachelder, pouring the Wismer Vineyard 2010 Chardonnay from the heart of Vineland, Ontario.
Hey everybody, it's Brad from Niagara Wine Videos. We're here at Cuvee 2013 with the head winemaker.
Bachelder, or Bachelder, depending which country you're in.
And so tell us a little bit about your wine. Why is it so amazing?
I'm a big believer in wild yeast fermentation, and wild yeast, there's many different strains competing, and they take a long time to do the job. So you finish the wine, but you have no fingernails left. You're so worried.
Okay.
This one took a longer time. Usually 3-4 months is enough for me. Like 12s from last year are not dry yet in my winery. But this took 1 year to ferment, and that gives you incredible length and breadth on the palate.
Yeah.
So you have to try a glass.
So when you talk about these wild indigenous yeasts, you mean from Niagara, from your vineyard?
Wild, yeah, the yeasts are omnipresent in the air, and that was the only way things used to ferment in the old days, and now we've selected them, and selected yeasts do a good job. But in the right years, in the right conditions, on the right vineyards, like this Wismer vineyard, the wild yeast just takes it and runs with it, takes its time, slow and steady. So it makes a really textural wine. Here, I want you to taste it.
Okay, yeah.
Here you go.
All right, thank you very much. Maybe you could just quickly explain the vineyard, why you like it so much.
I'm a big believer in the bench vineyards of Niagara.
Okay.
And this is right in Vineland, just up the hill on the way to Balls Falls on your left.
Oh, okay.
Last vineyard on your left before Balls Falls. And they have incredible minerality. There's so much limestone on that bench that despite the big fruit, some of that mineral flavor can't help but get in the wine, and that's what helps define it.
Awesome.
This is my partner, Mary Delaney.
Yeah. All right, let's give it a whirl here. Thanks so much.
Pretty rich, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty special. I don't know, what can you say? It's one of the best wines you've ever tasted. So.
Anyway, cheers. Thanks for coming to see
thanks
us.
very much. I got to ask you one question, kind of the devil's advocate question.
Okay, let her answer it, and then I'll see if I can.
You've got incredible wine here, and if I asked you, what was one wine that you've tried lately from Niagara that you thought was incredible?
That's a good question. You go first.
I love Laley.
Lately. Okay. And
that's a good answer.
Derek's a fantastic winemaker.
I've had his wines. They're incredible. Yeah.
I love his Pinots.
Very terroir driven, I find. They're very fresh, right?
And very European in style, low alcohol.
That's right.
Of course, I like the Rieslings and the Chardonnays and the Pinots of the peninsula, you know, and I used to be more of a bench snob. Maybe I still am.
Yeah.
But I like people who are just trying to deliver the taste of the land, and that sort of starts in Grimsby and works all the way through Vineland to Henry Pelham. But then down in Niagara-on-the-Lake, you also have people, you know, from Inniskillen, way down in Niagara-on-the-Lake, making great Pinot and Chardonnay, way up to the other side of Peninsula Ridge, still making good Chardonnay. To me, who I like best is usually just who in a given year or on a given day is the most subtle. And you know, you don't need to hit people over the head at the high end. You need to just deliver the taste of your property, and people will learn to love Niagara.
Do you think that's something that people graduate to after drinking wine for a while? Like they're addicted to sugar, and after you've drank it for a while, you graduate to this sensibility, really, of terroir-driven wine.
So one of the things to think about, people have been talking about minerality for the last 10 years or so. And what I say is, you know, if you go out and get a spring water, like Naya, or you go out and get Evian, which is this glacier that melts, you just taste water. But if you buy a water, you go out there and get a Volvic or something like that that tastes of the volcano it comes from, an ancient volcano, that will teach you minerality. Or certain mountain springs, you taste, it doesn't just taste like water, it tastes stony. That, when you find that in wine, that is a sense of place. Otherwise, wine is just varietal, meaning wine is just, oh, that's a nice Chardonnay. Whereas if
more of a winemaker style than
exactly. And what's going to happen in Niagara slowly as the years go by, people will say, well, that's Vineland. I can taste the Vineland. Not Vineland company, but Vineland area.
The area,
20 Mile Bench.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, 20 Valley. And people will say, well, that's what Jordan tastes like. That's what St. David's tastes like. That's what Beamsville tastes like. So that's why we're doing single vineyards, to try to understand that.
Slowly finding our sense of place.
We're slowly finding. It's going to take a while, but we're slowly finding it. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks very much for the interview.
Cheers.
Appreciate
Nice to meet
that.
you.
Yeah. Have a good night.